bingo, MarshStream. Oh, that's it. So apparently this meeting is being live streamed. The other, for the past 2.5 years, the stuff we've been watching has actually been on a delay of several weeks, which has made it very hard for me to try to be timely in advance. I think I've done a really good job. Anyhow, really great to see you, and really great to be here. I had, I think the bingo, you bingo folks have sort of kept, like, you've been like my life support, you know, that you get put on as a performer. You know, like you're in the hospital and you have these tubes and things and little things that go beep, beep, beep and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about. And so you've been, you know, keeping, you know, me technically alive during this whole period when I've been unable to perform in front of live audiences. And that's been awesome and life-saving by definition. But it was so cool to perform in a space for people who were there in the space. Also, I think any of you who were there would attest that it was a lovely space. It's like, it's really, really beautiful backyard of my friends Kristen and Jeff in Berkeley. And you know, and they're amazing. They run these events for, like, they started out their company. They have a company that runs events for like huge things. And they started out by running the presentations that Steve Jobs made initially. So one imagines that he held them to pretty high standards. And they're also really political and really great, Jeff and Kristen. And so anyhow, Kristen painted a flag. There was a backdrop. And they had all these seats. They put out 40 seats. The preview, I didn't invite 40 people, but on Saturday and Sunday, they were sold out. And it's really cool. And then they brought some wine and stuff. It was just, and the weather was perfect. And it just was like, I get to tell my stories again. I get to do the thing that I do. You know, I love doing it professionally more than I love doing anything else. And I think it's the thing I most naturally do, is tell these stories and develop these stories. And they don't really exist. They don't exist unless they're real life people there. And especially when this piece opened in just before and just after the presidential election in November of 2020, leading up to that, of course, for many months, we were in quarantine from the pandemic already, so I couldn't do the improvs that I would normally do to develop like the second half of the show. So I sort of had to, I mean, I did online improvs, but it's not the same. I had to guess, stuff like that. So it was really cool just to be able to see. I was a little worried. I think I told the first audience the preview, but since, you know, I would pause for what I imagined would be the laughs, you know, to my jokes, you know, when I performed the show on Zoom, and then I told them, if those jokes don't work in this real life situation, then I can get you out of here in 45 minutes, you know. But fortunately, the jokes seemed to work fine, and the emotion was there, which is something I super miss. I mean, we share that, but it was to be human in a space in the same air with hopefully nothing born on that air that is going to lead to someone catching a virus or something. Anyhow, it was just really beautiful. And they're going to do at least one more weekend in that place at Kristen and Jeff's. We haven't set the date yet. And then I've gotten offers from other people, including someone who came to a show who has apparently a really great backyard in Pleasanton, where I imagine there are some really big backyards, and it can hold 50 more people. And I don't know how many people are like, go to Pleasanton or whatever, but anyhow, that'll be in October. So I'm all excited and I feel better. And I've been continuing to read up on how animals sense things, use their senses, reading a lot now. This book about An Immense World by Ed Young. Really kind of mind-blowing. I'm reading it at my snail's pace, and I'm hoping that the way the snail perceives things will be coming up soon, so I can relate to it. But just incredible. It just reminds me that everything doesn't suck. And one thing that won't suck, I'm pretty sure about it, is game number 1 of Marsh Bingo, which if you don't have your bingo cards together, get your bingo card and be prepared to bingulate as we begin now. And the first bingo ball is B2. B2. So if you have B2 and you're compliant with the instructions, and I'm, again, not going to impose any authoritarian rule, but, you know, if you want to, it's there for you to mark it down. And it's the only way you can win. I-23. 23. 23. And N31. N31. I don't want to push my luck here, but so far in order, we have had BIN. And anyhow, you know, I was pretty sure for like the first part of my life that we were just about to have a peaceful communist revolution in our country. So I'm never going to put all my eggs in one basket again like that and say that the next one will be G. But, you know, it would be sort of... I. Well, it's sort of like G, but it's kind of, it actually, in terms of disappointments, I'm a lot less disappointed by I than by how a lot of socialism turned out around the world. So I hasn't let me down that much. Okay. But we're going to do it right. N45. 45. Smell number that gives me the creeps for reasons I can't put my finger on right now, but there you go. 45. And B5, 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 B5. So you can see Brianna is noting down in case you miss my announcement of a ball and you say, oh, did he call out that thing? Well, then you can look in the chat area and it will tell you. Oh, 65. Oh, 65. Oh, 65. So I also released in the last couple of weeks, I published my latest Citizen Brain video, which is on certainty versus doubt. And you can find it along with the other videos at citizenbrain.org or at my website, joshkornbluth.com. Don't be alarmed. Every time I sign on to joshkornbluth.com, and I do it quite frequently because it's my homepage, every time it tells me that it may not be a secure website. I may want to avoid it. You know, and I'm so far, you know, nothing's happened to me, but it seems suboptimal that my website should say that you should avoid it. Or maybe it's fixed by now, but anyhow, it should be okay. Should be okay. My friend Sue Trowbridge is my webmistress, my great webmistress there, and she would never allow anything bad to happen to anybody. N34, N34, N34. I-20, I-20. Been trying, it's been hard. Really the only nice thing about being in isolation from COVID during my COVID and then during my Paxlovid rebound of COVID was that because I didn't have, I was staying in our bedroom. I was only in our bedroom for like several weeks, and food would be left at the door and stuff for me. And so I wasn't able to snack with, you know, just at any time, which is generally when I like to snack, especially if I'm reading something or writing something, or if I'm just pausing and considering something, or if my brain is completely blank. In all those situations, I tend to snack constantly, and I didn't, and so I lost like 8 pounds. And so I'm really, really trying to hold the line, because I remember that feeling of say, wait a second. And also when Sarah would like bring me food, it would just be easier not to like go, Sarah, can you bring me some more food? So I would just like eat the first course, which would be, you know, first helping, which would be, you know, substantial for anybody, but not more. And then I realized, well, I normally pretty much almost always since childhood eat to putrefaction isn't the word I want, but, you know, just like I I eat until I can no longer eat. And I didn't do that for a while. I would eat and then like I would just sort of not eat. And then I would have not eaten. Sometimes I'd even skip a meal. So this is my battle against myself, or with myself, is with this scale. So hold up. I went up, because, with this kind of musculature, a lot of muscle mass is going to go first. And that weighs more than fat. And so that came back, but I still have like 3 pounds that I'm just clinging to not getting back up to. Not that it matters. Not that any of it matters. Oh, it does, because I can put in my belt 1 extra notch, and I can't tell you, it's not as good as sex, but you really have to think of other things besides sex to get to as good as that is. Let's see, B12, 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 B12. Oh, 64. Oh, 64. Oh, 64. And then yesterday, I went for a walk, which I haven't done that much for 2.5 years. I mean, I had a couple of errands to run. So I went for a walk, and I saw people. And, I live in Berkeley. And there are a lot of young people in Berkeley, especially downtown, because it's right by Cal Berkeley. It's right by Berkeley High School. But in the few years since I've been away, the young people have become extremely younger, to the point that I float among them as kind of a phantom of insubstantial age. Like I'm just like an aged being. Like I really could do anything. I could dance, I could frug, I don't feel like I exist in the same plane. And it was actually pretty pleasant, just because I'm really excited that there are still young people, and that they still are excited despite everything that my generation has done to incredibly screw up their world they're inheriting.
Hey,
I-30.
Josh,
Yes.
real quick, I wrote down I-20 and I-23. Was there another I? I might have missed it.
Yes, there's I-20, I-23, and maybe I didn't mention it. There was an I-17.
I-17, everyone.
Thank you for asking about that, because that could really be the difference. 3 of the 6 people I'm one of them. Still, 3 of the 6 people I'm seeing on screen have sued us for missed, when they haven't been called, and it's a pretty litigious group. I'm one of them, and so it's really good to be accurate. I-30. I've been making I had this great psychiatrist for several years, and then just a little over a year ago he retired. He swore it wasn't something I said. He was planning to retire for a long time, but he was just so great. And G49, and I was not, haven't been in recent couple years, or actually in any of my lifetime with like rolling in money, but especially more recently. And then he gave me some breaks on it, and I'm just like really grateful. So I've been periodically texting him Spotify playlists that I'm curating playlists for him as a way to sort of let him know that I'm still grateful. Also, because making playlists for people is one of my absolutely favorite things. Is like then I listen to them with this idea that this person I made the playlist for. I found my friend Scott Rosenberg, my old friend who lives in Berkeley now. 069. When I was going through the storage units a few weeks ago that were so traumatic for me to go through, but we got them all cleared out, and now we don't have to pay for them anymore. And we don't have to worry about encountering rat poo whenever we go there. And but I found, I'm going through the levels of my life, the times of my life, and there were just all of these cassettes. I think you'll all remember cassette tapes, in which especially Scott made for me just all of these incredible mixtapes that introduced me to all these things, and it was just like beautiful, it's just beautiful. So, music is good, I'll say. Oh, 72. Oh, 72. Yeah, I should have charged my analyst, Greg. Yes. Yeah, and Craig, it's just one of many missed opportunities that spring from my really bad instincts in terms of business. Is that it never occurred to me to charge this Jungian analyst, and it's too late now. G46. A quick update on the kite family. There's a family of black-tailed kites, white-tailed kites. They have kites in the color on a tail, but they're mostly white. And Sarah and I, my wife and I, we've been biking and birding, and there's this kite families I've talked about before that live in a few trees that are by the place that we called the weird picnic table. And we followed them with the little babies getting bigger and bigger, and then learning to fly, and the dad and the mom kite, and it's like, it was really exciting. And then for a while there were no kites for like a couple weeks, and we were kind of freaking out because we consider the babies to be legally our grandchildren, and so we felt a great sense of loss. And then but now both members of the couple are back, and 2 of the 3 babies who are now, kind of like rock as teenagers. They actually, Sarah was down there early today. She has especially been going down early because of the weather being so hot. And she saw that the babies, or the young ones, were practicing swooping to and briefly landing on the tree that the mom likes to be on. So they're, they're testing, they're testing the limits. Anyhow, really, really happy that at least most of them are still there. The brown pelicans are almost all gone. It was brown pelican, billions of brown pelicans around Richmond Marina and the Berkeley Marina. Almost all gone. There's these 5 really big white pelicans that are sticking around. Pretty amazing. A lot of stuff going on. And my hummingbird, the hummingbird that I consider to be my friend, who I named Hummingbird. I have not seen now for several weeks. It's around in twin. I-19. Finding on this book, I'm reading about Audubon, who was bird guy, also slave owner. But he believed he propagated this myth that birds don't smell. They don't have a sense of smell. Boy, was that wrong. Birds can smell like all get out, especially the ones that are called, like, I'm not sure this is the exact name, it's snout-nosed birds. Doesn't seem like, I don't know. It's not the kind of name that you would get that would make you feel like you're pretty.
There's a bingo.
Bingo from Andrea Carla Michaels, who's actually on screen. That's fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you. That I-17, that missing I-17 was the key to life.
Yes, I had a premonition of that, and it's just one reason why Brianna is my new hero, because otherwise, who knows what could have happened. But you have in fact bingulated, including that aforementioned thing, and you're back in San Francisco, I take it.
I am. And you solved a mystery. I was printing out, I haven't been here in like 2 months, I think. And I was printing out new bingo cards. And I came across this list that said circus stilts, walks on stilts, go fly a kite, construction crane on a lark, play chicken. I was like, what the hell is this? And it turns out, I think
birds.
talking about your kite and your stilts, I tried to make a crossword puzzle out of it,
Wow.
which is still to come.
Okay, cool. Because I was gonna say, if you made the crossword puzzle based on my idea, and then you published it and where you publish them, then I would have to just die, because then the rest of my life would be just downhill. So I'm glad I have a little more time left. So it's not that I don't trust you. It's just you've been out of the country, and there's been a lot of talk about sharing American intelligence with foreign powers. You weren't named specifically.
Yeah.
But it'd still be good to know. I know you're showing me that page of it, but then also if you could read them out. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
They're all eyes. The eyes have it.
Oh, so it's Ingo. It's not Ingo. It's hard to when you pronounce it. It's actually two eyes, right? Ingo, and you gotta really be listening for it. But anyhow, tell me what your Ingo is.
Like Hawaii. I have I 17, I 19.
Yes.
20.
Yes.
23.
Yes.
And 30.
Those are in fact all of the eyes.
I know, that's why I couldn't believe, when you got all excited that it wasn't a G, the third ball you picked, and you just kept saying it's an I, and you never said the number. And I was like, what if it's I 17 and that's, what I need to win?
Maybe by saying it's an I, and not adding that it was I 17. Maybe that's how Brianna thought that maybe not enough information had been imparted by me. Is the I was necessary but not sufficient. So I'm glad it all happened. You return to bingo. You return to the Bay Area instantly. Once again, a winner of something that I can't even begin to imagine what it is that you'll receive as a prize. But now Brianna will present it to you. Brianna.
Thank you.
I sent you a private message.
Okay. And in the private message, you told her what she won?
Yeah, the instructions are to email box office at themarsh.org stating you're the winner of game 1 to collect your prize.
Was it by any chance a level of membership at the Marsh?
It is. I believe it's been a while since I've done bingo. I believe it's the bronze membership for the winner of game 1.
Okay, cool. A lot of people, look down on the bronze membership because it's the lowest membership, but there's actually a lower membership than the bronze membership. But I can't, it's a horrible word they use, and I'm not going to repeat it. So, but it's actually the bronze membership is still really high status. So what Brianna has given you will stand you in good stead.
I have the tan membership.
The what?
The tan membership.
The
not
tan
quite
membership. When you say tan, and it just brings you back to the trauma, I think the greatest trauma I've ever experienced in politics, which is when President Obama wore a tan suit. I remember it was, as far as I'm thinking now, the most egregious crime against the office of the president.
And he did it before Labor Day.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the thing. Raised as you and I were raised as wealthy wasps. We know about the different rules. That's why I paint my feet white and don't paint them purple until after. Okay, I'm losing my mind. We're ready for game number 2. Game number 2 begins now. And game number 2 begins with G57. I saw a thing just before, we started. There was a reference, but I didn't know if it was just a joke. So I'm hoping it's not, even though I love people. I love all people. I feel a great deal. But basically, someone made some reference to maybe Mitch McConnell was really, really sick. And I was just thinking, if the sad occurrence were to happen that we should lose Mitch McConnell and maybe another, like that guy from Iowa, who's 12 years old, who's running for re-election. 72. But let's say we lost 2 Republicans and before they filled it, would that mean that the Democrats could, like, I can't do the math, but you know what I mean? Like all those things, like really important things could be passed that were blocked by like Joe Manchin and she, who will not be named, who is named Kirsten Sinema, that we would actually be able to pass those things, like really, really important things to start with this really big bill, and that would become a law that would protect the integrity of our elections and from the attacks by the Republicans. So, I mean, that'd be really cool. It's just something that occurred to me, but now probably it's not even true. I mean, the thing is, Mitch McConnell, since probably he was 20, has looked dead. Although I take that back because he, you know, as you've probably seen, he looks like a turtle. And I actually just saw a picture of a turtle today that just turned 200. So I'm all confused. And maybe Mitch McConnell is just really just entering the flesh of youth. Horrible, horrible person. Horrible, horrible, horrible person. I-24. 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 B11. B11. And 36. 33. Next thing, this is all exciting stuff. It's the kind of content you probably can't get at any other online bingo. But my next big Augean test is to clear out my office. I have an office downtown in Berkeley that has mostly served as being a place where if I'm downtown and need to use a bathroom, it's right there. But is that worth paying $315 a month for? Also, I have a lot of stuff in there. So I'm on a whole clearing out thing now. N43, 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 N43. It's some story about the guy who owned it. It's an old building on Shaddix next to, or actually, no, it's the same building on top of what used to be that store with like magic stuff in it. It was the Games of Berkeley. And the story was that the guy who originally owned the building, you know, decades ago, he was like really a jerk. And it had an elevator. And he was upset that like maybe something like maybe that people who were disabled would be able to have access to. It was something like unbelievably bad. And so he took out the elevator. And so there's no elevator. There's like a thing that anyhow.
Hang on, Josh. Sorry. Can you read the last 3?
Yes. I'm not sure what the last 3 are, so I'm going to read all of them.
Okay.
I'm going to sing them.
Okay.
Wait, I need that. Oh, I don't know if I can. Wait, did I do this one yet? I don't know. G54, G54, if I didn't, G54. Okay, wait, hang on. I'm sorry, I know this is like your first day in charge of this stuff, Brianna, and I'm being not my usual professional self. And I apologize. It's my brother Jacob's fault. He's no idea how I can justify what I just said. I'm just saying it's full of blaming for this. Okay. Sorry, okay. Here are the
I'm ready.
numbers. I'm hoping it's relatively in tune. I haven't played it since last time I played it again. That's a little something. We begin with B11. Is there a heaven? I'm a guessing there ain't, but maybe there's a heaven in which when you play bingo, you get BLF. Wow, this is gonna carry us, I think, through next week. I-24. I hope I did not ignore. At least I didn't throw it on the floor. Or do my impression of an erotic dancing Al Gore. All I did was say, I hope I-24. And 33, don't blame any non-announcement on me. And 36, well, maybe I left it out because it's one of my tricks. I want to come up with a better rhyme, but just my brain isn't working. And 43, Martin Buber said that you can have an either relationship with a tree. Maybe. Buber, did he eat a tuber? We don't know that. But someone's probably doing a dissertation on it at Hebrew University. G54. I said G54. I hope that I did not ignore, as was G57. You know, there was really no technical or practical religious reason for the Israelites not to bring along leaven. And oh, 72, you make me so blue. I look at you, I can see through and through that oh, 72. I've never rode crew, but my freshman roommate named Raymond Sacchetti rode crew, well, actually junior crew, and wanted to be in the CIA. And he was famous because at the end of every crew race, I am not making this up, he would throw up. So now I've thrown down all the balls and I've cleaned out all the stalls. If you can call my 3 former storage unit stalls, and this song has to end. Or does it, my friend? And yes, it does. Yes, it does. But it's going to end on a minor and not on the root chord that's a major. So, Brianna, did that fill you in on all the information?
Yes, it was very helpful. Thank you.
Well, it's weird because again, I wrote that song years ago, and it's just so amazingly apposite for if apposite is the word I want and is not the opposite of the word I want. Okay, let's move forward, and I'm going to try, Brianna. I'm really going to try to actually do the only thing that I'm asked to do as the host of this, which is to say the name of the ball, the thing of the ball, and it is B9, 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 B9. So fine. N34, N34, N34. Wonder if you know the young people, you know, like under 60, those who are on TikTok. I wonder if they're really into bingo. They're doing like TikTok. Oh, 61. Oh, 61. Oh, 61. G58. G60. G60. I'd like to perform indoors again sometime. I'm still, yeah, I'd like to go to shows. Like I know that the Marsh has some great shows indoors. I should go to them. I'm just still a little nervous, a little bit nervous about being like a super spreader or a super receiver. But if performing indoors would open up as an option for me, that would certainly give me more possibilities. But right now, backyards is still a pretty large, it's a large subset of sets. I-19, 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 I-19. I-18. G49, G49, G49. My niece Elsa, who lives with her parents, including my sister Amy, in Pretoria, South Africa, where Amy is a diplomat, just picked up the saxophone. And I mean, really almost literally just picked it up and is immediately playing almost as well as John Coltrane. I'll keep you abreast of this, but it's some crazy, crazy thing. 064, 064, 064. It's pretty cool. Okay, maybe several steps below the train, but very well. Better than Kenny G. At least he plays it forward, you know, with instead of that. We had to live through quite a lot, and I think he's Jewish. N39, 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 N39. I-20. Okay. Yeah, when you go outside, you just see, you know, there's the sky and stuff. It's not true. I've been outside on my bike. Some of this weird breathing problem that I've mentioned that doesn't affect when I'm on my e-bike. I can go anywhere on my e-bike, but just like walking, just up a little slight hill, and I'm like, you know, so walking is unusual to walk for distances. In case you've invited me to go on a walk with you and I've said something like, I'm sorry, I need to see the shop, or something like something that was obviously an excuse. 074, 074, 074, 074. B6, B6, B6. Okay, I did something. I don't know if any of you have an Apple Watch. It's kind of the ultimate proletarian accessory, really. Yes, I have one, but if you do, it has these rings that you need to close, or if you choose to. And there's a standing ring, you can stand 12 times in a day. There's a activity ring, which in my case is expending what it considers to be 600 calories in a day. And there's an exercise ring, which is in my case, exercise for 30 minutes. And I'm kind of into keeping a streak going. And I realized I'd be doing it on my bike, but I realized I didn't go biking because I was working on preparing for these shows. And so I was just gonna, the shows are like just a couple blocks away from where I live. So that wasn't gonna do it. And then, you know, this backyard that I was in. And then I was just gonna sit there. I just sat and did my performance. And so I realized I wasn't gonna close my rings for activity or exercise. So I sort of I concocted a new kind of activity. You can pick different activities, riding a bike, outdoors, indoors, whatever, walking, inside, outside. I concocted one for monologuing while sitting, that the way I set it up, while I was sitting, it acted as if I was running really fast continuously. And I just want to say right now, I know that was wrong, but it felt really great to close my rings. G51, G51, G51. B3, B3. it's really cool. You know, the performances, I guess they'll might continue to do if I start at 7 p.m., but they start and it's really light out. And then like about halfway through the show, so it's about an hour and a quarter, it gets totally dark out. It's just like really pretty, but they had lights up, you know, so it's just sort of like this by the end, you know, everything's like that. It's awesome. It's awesome. Reminded me of going to see mostly with my mom when I was a kid, the Shakespeare in the Park at the Delaport Theater in Central Park, which is free. You just had to wait online for like, you know, all day and make the picnic, whatever, I-16. And it was in the summer, and frequently you'd watch and the sun would go down, and then behind the set, there'd be beautiful sets by Santo Laquasto and other like really great set designers. And then there was a castle, the top of which had the devices that gave a lot of the information for the weather for New York City. And so there'd be like the sun going down behind this castle, behind the set, while they're speaking Shakespeare, which of course I mostly didn't understand, but, you know, aspired to. And it was just so beautiful. And it sort of felt like that. Needless to say, the writing at the Shakespeare Festival at the Delaport Theater was not up to the same quality as the writing when I was performing my own monologue, nor was the standard performance nearly as high. Who did I see there? Kevin Kline, Meryl Streep, Raul Julia, James Earl Jones as King Lear. It's pretty cool. Amazing. And 35. Linda Ronstadt. She's in a musical of Pirates of Penzance. N35. Just the idea that like the most beautiful things be presented by the most talented people to those of us who didn't have money was really, all we had to do was just wait online. And in my case of me and my mom, we would sit back to back because short hamstrings run in the family and hard to sit cross-legged on the ground. And we would read to each other the text of the play that we were about to see. So even some of my nicest experiences with mom. 71. And 41. I have some like vibe, you know, that things like the arts and healthcare, and education, that should be provided free. And it's weird coming from me because I'm no neoconservative, but that's how I feel. No, it just seems like what a world. What an accomplishable world that would be. And clean water. B2. And freedom to express yourself as whatever gender you would wish to express yourself. These things should all not be controversial. I-17. I saw some picture of a library in the South that was empty. It was, I guess it had been, you know, all these books that had been, it was a section where all the books had been.
Bingo.
Where? Did someone say something? Bingo?
Craig.
You just won? And you got Duolingo, I'm seeing. I'm just catching up with you now. Craig, congratulations for Duolingo. How does it feel to have stolen, in some ways, Andrea's thunder, briefly? I know you two are competitive. Is your sound on? No. Oh, here's something. So you're saying that, I think I'm a really good lip reader. You're saying that my performance that you saw in the backyard was the most amazing performance that any human or any other animal or even inanimate being has ever given. If I'm getting that right, I might have missed a word or two.
Excuse me, you can turn it on manually yourself like I did right now.
Oh, just unmute yourself.
He's unmuted, but he's not connected to the sound.
Okay. That would be a horrible thing to be your, like, what people remember of you, or it goes on your tombstone, you know, say, he was unmuted, but he was unconnected to the sound. There's just something just really sad and wistful about that. What I'm going to say, Craig, is that if you could speak aloud to the rest of us, you would. Are you wearing that shirt right now? No. Okay. Cool. This is cool. This is like talking to someone who doesn't have the ability to talk back using sound, which has been a strange dream of mine. Okay. Can you show me your card? Can you show me your card? Yeah, okay. This is an exception. Oh, hi, my son's home. My son was 24 2 days ago, but older than that as of yesterday. Craig uses the same card all the time, which isn't the rule, but we allow him to do it. You're supposed to use a new card each time. Craig has some compromising information about me that he keeps in a safe, and for that reason, he forces me to allow him to do it. But what are the dialingos that you got? B2, I-19, N5. Wait, that's free and free. G60. Oh, 64. Okay. I don't know if technically I can allow that if I don't hear you say it. Craig, and I ask this whenever I hire an intern. It's my first question. Do you know semaphore, the language of the symbolic language with flags? Okay, cool, because that's one easy way to do it. Okay, doesn't matter if you use a card or something, it's all chance. Rachel, is just being intellectually accurate is not something that I particularly encourage here, but that's probably true. Okay, anyhow, you've bingulated, and your voice has rung, has rung through the streets of the bingo world, even if it's not able to us, and you're going to win something. And Brianna's maybe even already given it to you. I'm not sure. Has she? Do you have it? Brianna?
Sorry, you cut out. Do I have what?
Do you have a prize for our Craig?
Yes. I directly messaged you, Craig. You can email that you are the winner of game 2 at boxoffice@themarsh.org, and you will get these. I think that's the silver pass.
Okay.
Silver.
Craig, I'm assuming that you've never ever won the silver membership before. And if that is true, I just want you to either move your mouth or don't move your mouth without making any sound that I can hear. Okay, cool. So that confirms that. So Craig, congratulations. I'm so glad that when you guys came to the backyard that you had brought your unmute button and it was working. It's very cool. Ellie, am I able to hear you?
Hello?
Hi. You ever do you have a Craig Erb impression that you do?
No.
Where you can sound just like him? Okay, cool. It was a long shot. It was a long shot. So what I see behind you are sort of darkish hued flowers.
Oh, it's the same type. This is the 4th one.
The one from last time?
Yeah, similar. It's the same type. I love it. So I've been buying it 4 times in a row now. This whole month, I've been buying this same one.
I have to say, it's really pretty. It's really sort of joyful. I think what we want to do if the Marsh has, if you need a ventriloquist, Craig, is true, and I volunteer to be your dummy. But what we need to do is we need to get what are those things that you control, that drones. We need a drone camera that can look right down on it, because that's when you really see it. So, but alternatively, you can do what you just did and just showed it to us.
I can take a picture, top view, and then as my screenshot, you either pick that one or me live.
Okay, so it's too many choices. Too many choices. But in any case, are you doing okay? Is everything cool? Yes? Are you taking a class? Yeah? What?
A little hot here.
Hot. Yes, been noticing that. It's really hot, but I'm sure it's nothing long term. It's just sort of a blip. Well, cool. So you're doing okay. Everyone else doing okay? Okay, cool. Well, I don't think we really have time to do another game, unless it would be just amazing. But just out of curiosity, was the ball you showed but didn't say B1? You mumbled something. If yes, in which case I actually beat my arch enemy, Craig. What's weird, Andrea, and I know you'll find this hard to believe, those are the exact words that were yelled out by my wife on our wedding night. And I just kept asking her, who's Craig? Who's Craig? You know, no, there's no B1. There's no B1. No, Craig, you can't supersede Craig. You can't. It's just not possible. Yeah, cool. Excellent. Okay, cool. So I guess we'll wrap up. In which case, we'll all be unmuted in heaven. Okay, let me just make sure. Okay, cool. So I've decided we're going to sing this in E together. Are we ready? Marsh bingo. Marsh bingo. Marsh bingo. Marsh bingo. Marsh bingo. Marsh bingo. One more time, singing and as close as we can to Craig's voice. Marsh bingo. Marsh bingo. Marsh bingo. Uncanny. Marsh bingo. Marsh bingo. Marsh bingo. Oh. Thanks, everybody.
Have a
Have a
nice
great
day.
week. Take care of yourselves.
You
See you next week.
too.
Bye.